Today's discussion will highlight how evidence accountability and professional judgment shape fair,
Tidak ko ita mama
informed
me.
decisions in our
Tidak ko
system.
ita.
So in Christine, in the validation meeting, phase 3, present are the principal, Mr. Guang Pedro, master teacher, Ma'am Jenny de Benegracia, teacher A, Ma'am Jocelyn Escobar, teacher B, yours truly, teacher C, Ma'am Regina Patricio. The purpose is to validate the IPCR ratings using evidence and apply integrity controls. Now let us begin.
Once again, good afternoon, everyone.
So,
This is our phase 3, the performance validation.
wah,
Today,
wah,
we're
kuya
gonna
kuya
discuss not only ratings alone,
Asa yan
but
sinilas?
on whether those ratings are
dua.
supported by credible, multi-source evidence.
Bata.
Our goal is to ensure fairness, consistency, and integrity in our performance management system.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm ready to present the basis of my ratings.
Thank you, Ma'am Jinli. Let me set the process for each teacher we will review. First, the performance data. It should focus on the student outcomes. The competence evidence about classroom observation. Then for the integrity check, it's alignment and audit of assessment. We
Are.
will apply triangulation. No rating will be accepted without consistent evidence
Ano ka, ma'am?
from at least two sources. Again, let me emphasize that we will apply triangulation. Okay, for teacher Jubilin, please present your evidence.
Yes, sir. I submitted the quarterly test results showing an increase in mastery from 78% to 86%, lesson plans that align with K to 12, attendance records showing consistent student participation, and the intervention plans for low performing students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ma'am Jubilin. How did you evaluate this, Ma'am Lindy?
Sir, I rated teacher Jovelyn as satisfactory because the performance met expectations, but I did not initially consider it as exceeding standards.
Please validate first about the performance data. Student mastery improved to 86%. That meets the threshold of higher performance. And for the competence, do we have observation records? Ma'am?
Yes, sir. Observation score was 4.6 out of
Daun
5.
ko daun mami.
Suka ba, boy?
That falls under very
Suka ba, boy?
satisfactory to outstanding wings. Let's check integrity. Are assessment aligned,
Yes, sir.
Ma'am?
Yes, sir. I included my table of specification and validated test items.
Let's review the documents. Oh, it's aligned. Alignment is confirmed.
Anong
No
patapit?
discrepancies found.
Oo ko mami.
Based on triangulation, Ma'am Jovelyn, no? The student outcome is
Untuk ko
strong, the
manit
observation
yan.
result is strong, and the integrity is verified. This is consistent evidence of higher performance.
Daun ko.
Ma'am Cindy, would you agree that this satisfactory rating may not fully reflect the validated performance?
Yes, sir. Based on this validation, the rating should be reconsidered.
Noted, ma'am. Teachers' Jubiling's rating will be subject to upward adjustment
Yeah, what?
pending final review.
Thank you so much, sir.
Alright, let's proceed to Teacher Sheila. Teacher Sheila, please present your evidence.
Yes, sir. I have records of activities conducted, student outcomes
validation.
Yung baboy
Third
ay,
is the integrity
try
check.
ani, baboy ay,
Are
mami.
assessments validated?
I have not yet completed the moderation process, sir.
So we have first, incomplete performance documentation. Second, limited observation data. And no full integrity validation. Despite being outstanding, the evidence is insufficient for validation.
I understand, sir. I can complete the documents.
That will be necessary. For now, based on our validation framework, no rating is accepted without sufficient and verifiable evidence. Ma'am Jenny, would you agree that the outstanding rating cannot be fully justified at this stage?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It should be subject to validation, sir.
A teacher Sheila rating is now flagged to review and possible adjustment pending complete evidence. Now let's proceed to teacher Regina. Teacher Regina, please present your evidence or your portfolio.
Yes, sir. My portfolio includes lesson plans, student outputs, training certificates, mention notes.
Where you organize, let's validate. First, the performance data on student mastery.
It's around 85%, sir.
Do we have supporting test results?
Yes, sir. I included in the portfolio po.
Okay, I will review. I verified it. Second, for the competence, let's find out the observation. Activity.
Sir, the score of Mama Regina po is 4.4.
Consistent with very satisfactory. Third, the integrity check, no? As assessment alignment.
Included in my portfolio po, sir.
Okay, may I check? No? Alignment is acceptable with minor revisions.
Slippers.
Now,
Where's your slippers?
one concern, does the portfolio reflect consistent classroom impact or is it documentation only?
The students' outputs and results po, sir, reflect on actual implementation po, sir.
Okay, based on validation, the performance meets the standards, the competence, it is consistent, and for the integrity, it is acceptable. This supports the very satisfactory rating. No adjustment needed at this time, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
So, let's synthesize this one. Let's reflect on these three cases. No? For teacher Jubilee, strong evidence but underrated. For teacher Sheila, she has high rating but insufficient evidence. For teacher Regina, balanced rating with validated portfolio. This confirms that ratings alone are not reliable without validation. Validation principles. No? Let's take a look on this. Let us be mindful on it. No? Let's move forward. We will strictly apply triangulation of evidence. No single source will determine performance. Second, evidence sufficiency rule. Missing documents, no final rating. Alignment check, student results, observation, and assessment must be consistent. And for the integrity control, any discrepancy triggers review.
Sheila, it's your turn na. I realize now the importance of or ratings po. I acknowledge, sir, that validation is necessary to ensure consistency and fairness in everyone as your leader po, as the leader of this group.
Thank you very much. This validation phase is critical because it ensures that performance is not assumed, but it must be proven. Second, ratings are consistent and evidence-based. Then the system maintains integrity and credibility. We will finalize ratings only after all evidences is validated. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, and that concludes the phase 3, which is the validation. Thank you to everyone for this powerful exchange. Today reminds us that a strong system is not built on ratings, but on truth, evidence, and integrity. When decisions are grounded in this, trust follows. This session is now concluded. Thank you.
Very good,
Back to
Daddy.
you, Ma'am.
Not delete.
Thank you,
That's
Thomas
very
Martin.
good.
Let's begin on our phase 4. This will be facilitated
ignoring these inconsistencies, we identified, corrected, and strengthened the system. The adjustment of ratings is not a failure. It is evidence that our system is self-correcting and accountable.
Okay, Master Teacher, why did you rate Teacher Kila as outstanding when there was incomplete evidence?
Year.
Good afternoon, Ma'am. Initially, I considered Teacher Sheila's reported accomplishments and prior performance. However, I recognized that the rating lacked sufficient validated supporting evidence. Through the validation process, I learned that performance must not rely on perception but on verified data.
So, you say your judgment was flawed?
My judgment was incomplete, not entirely flawed, Mom, but the validation process strengthened it by ensuring that all ratings are supported by multi-source evidence, not just professional impression, Mom.
Now, Mr. Principal, how do you justify upgrading teacher Jubilee? Isn't it that unfair to others who were rated correctly?
We base all decisions on evidence consistency. In teacher Jubilin's case, student outcomes improved significantly. Observation scores were assessment tools were validated. The satisfactory rating did not reflect actual performance. Adjusting it ensures fairness, not favoritism.
But doesn't this create confusion among teachers? Ratings are changing. How can they trust you? How can they trust your system, sir?
On the contrary, it builds trust. Teachers can trust that ratings are not arbitrary. Evidence is reviewed thoroughly. Corrections are made when necessary. A system that corrects itself is more credible than one that ignores errors.
Teacher Sheila, do you agree with the possible downgrade of your rating?
Um, while I initially believed my performance justified an outstanding rating, I understand that complete validated evidence is required, ma'am. I accept the need to submit additional documentation to support my performance.
Okay. Mr. Principal, what if Teacher Sheila refuses and insists on keeping the outstanding rating?
We respect critics' verdict. However, we are guided by one principle. No rating is finalized without verified evidence. We will first provide opportunity for compliance. Second, reassess based on submitted data. And lastly, ensure transparency in the decision. The final rating will reflect validated performance, not personal preference.
Hmm. Teacher Hina submitted a complete portfolio. So how do you know it's reflect actual teaching and not just documentation effort?
We do not rely on portfolios alone. We validated through student learning outcomes, observation results, and assessment alignment. Teacher Regina's portfolio was cross-checked and measurable outcomes, confirming that it reflects actual classroom performance.
Isn't your system too rigid? You might discard teachers from being innovative.
Our system is structured, not restrictive. It allows flexibility in teaching approaches, but requires that outcomes are measurable, verifiable, and aligned with the standards. Innovation is encouraged, but it must result in actual student learning.
Why should we trust your system?
ensures that ratings are based on multi-source validated evidence. Second, the inconsistencies are identified and